This program is brought to you by Newsworks in cooperation with the City of Eau Claire. This program is simulcast on WRFP-LP 101.9 FM.
It's 7:30, so I will call the meeting to order. Almost lost it there for a second. Okay. Is the TV on? Everything cool with that? All right. So we're live streaming to the usual millions, so we're fine. The second order of business is minutes from the meeting of September 18th and the special meeting of October 3rd. I'll take a motion to approve the minutes of September 18th first. Okay, second?
Second.
Okay, all in favor? Aye. Okay, how about the special meeting? They were in your packet, October 3rd.
I'll move.
Okay. Okay, it's been moved and seconded to approved as presented. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. We got that. Financial statements.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Attached in the packet is the RDA Budget and Actuals Report as of September 30th, 2019. As of September 30th, 2019, the operating expenditures for the RDA total $85,065. Expenditures include $708 for personnel costs associated with upkeep of RDA-owned properties, $42,567 for contractors to repair and maintain RDA-owned properties, $3,533 for utilities, $1,745 for fixed charges, $6,977 for contributions and other payments, and $29,535 for bond issuance costs associated with 2019 C bond payments.
Okay. Any questions from the board? If not, can I get a motion to approve the financial statements as presented?
So moved.
Okay, moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Financial statements are approved. Now, fourth item, discussion and direction from the RDA to Van Wall and Associates regarding the Cannery District redevelopment plan revisions. Aaron?
Good morning. So we have gone through this a couple of times. You've had all the material presented in front of you. We went through staff recommendations at the special meeting. So at this point, what we are ready for is to discuss the items and get direction specifically from the board that we can pass on to Van Wall, and they will finish out the development plan and then present a final draft for approval. So just thought we'd go ahead and take the four elements that had options that need to be decided upon within the development plan. So we'll start at the top with the heights. The option was really about density and about price points. The options go to a lower density type of multifamily or higher density. So I'd ask, what is the preference of the committee on that space, or what are your thoughts on that space?
Okay, point that out again, just so for our audience at home, that they would make sure they can see that.
That'd be the development at the top with the 3 multifamily facilities. And again, the two options, Van Wall estimated you could do a smaller development, say 3-story at around 80 units, or go much taller in that area, and they thought upwards of 150 units of multifamily could fit in there.
And that's at the far end.
Correct.
Great.
Okay, what is the board? Any opinion?
I agree with the choice.
Meaning highest density?
Yeah, what they're proposing.
The staff recommendation was option 2, looking for higher density and market rate.
I'll probably not lean in quite as much as I would prefer to the staff.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, yeah, density is really important in that. All right, next, please.
Okay, the next we're talking about the position called the center. This is basically this position of Kessler Park. The option 1 is to leave Kessler Park where it is, and then the city would look to upgrade amenities, and then we would develop on the east side of First Street. Or the option 2 is to move Kessler Park to the rest of the park on the east side, and then we would redevelop Kessler Park as, in this case, they recommended townhomes or some sort of development along that type. Staff recommendation was option 2 to relocate Kessler Park. It provides some efficiencies and can blend in with the rest of the parking space. Correct.
Okay, so tell me about the density possibilities then on the west side.
What they have modeled is this is a location to do townhomes. Within their model, they said they can estimate about 26 townhomes could be dropped into that space as it sets. Now, obviously, it could be looked at for something other than that. It could be enough space for multifamily, although considering the properties in and around it, the townhomes is probably a better transition moving south because you're looking at single-family homes to the north. And then north of that, you're looking at developing single-family homes as well in that open area that was identified as First and Cedar. So like a townhome, you get a little more density with townhomes or twin homes, something along those lines. Could be for sale or for rent. Obviously, developers will come and present what they would like to do, but there's definitely some options there. Amenities would need to be determined by the park and the community and the neighborhood. So Parks Department will ultimately lead the discussion on what Kessler Park looked like and what it offers for amenities once it's moved.
And we've got it closer to the river, in the river green space and all that kind of nice stuff.
Yes, yep.
Okay, very good. Okay, any other comments, board?
I thought that was the best choice.
Yeah.
As far as tying it in with the other amenities.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, next.
Okay. The next space would be considered Platt and Oxford. So as you look at that space, they listed two options there. Again, the space to the north, they are calling that residential or potentially some mixed use, small amount of commercial on the ground floor, but residential. So the space that's Platt and Oxford, that's whited out, the option would be either to do additional residential or to do some type of with maybe some potential for commercial tied to it, or doing more of a commercial site and focus more heavily on commercial only. A blending of the two, definitely is a possibility as well. Looking to build a makers district that has commercial businesses and commercial potential. Staff is recommending to kind of a blend of the two, mixed use, but providing some space for larger commercial space. We have some interest in there already. But if possible, can we add housing on top of any commercial that goes in?
Tell me
What commercial, expand on that.
We have a local business that has shown strong interest and has been showing strong interest for the last few months in the Cannery District. They are currently renting space and they need to consolidate. They're running a couple locations, need to consolidate. And what they do fits down there. It fits in with the maker's concept. It provides, they make things that also has a little bit of retail store frontage, provides some other avenues or outlets for other artists in the area, as well as being a facility that employs 50 employees right now. So it would fit well with the area. It would bring some, it would move some jobs down into that area. So it's a nice fit for the concept we're looking to do in there.
And you consider that option one?
Yes, with the potential for maybe putting in some, I think with the commercial could be a little bigger than what they've anticipated in option one, but so probably more of a blend of option one and two is what the city staff is kind of leaning towards.
That was just my question, was about, so that's right at the corner currently, right? These streets always blend together for
Correct.
me down there. But Platt Street is right, okay,
Yep.
right. So option two was only saying commercial, correct?
Yeah, they were thinking one large or series of large commercial spaces. We think there's still opportunity to maybe put some residential above any commercial space that goes in there. Pardon? Yes, more of a live work concept.
Okay. All right.
Okay, the last area to be discussed is what they refers to the Riverside sites. It is the strip that is it would be on the east side of Oxford Avenue and will butt up against the trail. They listed three potential options for there. First option is an urban park amenity that's kind of a destination theme. They had thrown out deck hockey as a possibility. that same thing could be, it could be a skate park. It could be some sort of a single use that kind of identifies that area and attracts people specifically towards that public use. Option 2 would be a kind of mix of urban and small commercial. Primarily small park for residential. We would estimate that being onto the north end of the piece and then doing some type of commercial development, or residential development. Option 3 would be more of a mixed use residential and commercial. Staff liked the option 3. The thought was, if you could do some very unique offerings on the ground floor of that space, ideas thrown out were like a food hall type of concept or small micro retail suites that could be themed to fit kind of the maker's concept and provide a significant attraction. And again, looking at developing residential on top. That's kind of the direction that the staff was leaning towards. One thing that Vanderwall had indicated is they felt that the Riverside site development would hinge a little bit on what you develop on the Platt and Oxford site. If that went commercial, they felt very comfortable doing a taller structure, mixed-use type development. If Platt and Oxford were to go almost more residential or exclusively residential, they felt it was probably better to leave that as some sort of a park destination because that would be what the folks living in the Platt and Oxford area would be looking at.
I would have to kind of agree with that a little bit. If you're going to have residential on the Platte and Oxford, to have it be something, the option 1, I kind of liked that with some sort of destination that people come to, or, combining that with some sort of urban park setting, it ends up being attractive for people who live in that area to go to for use all the time. I guess that would be my thoughts on it. And then if, you go too high up, then it blocks the river. And then you want to get too much commercial space and take the chance of having, vacants. I mean, obviously, I know you guys are talking to people, but I guess that would be my biggest concern is, you end up having too much commercial. If you can't fill it, then you don't want it sitting vacant either. That's just my thoughts.
My thought was if we go the more blended route on Platt and Oxford, then maybe option 2, having some urban park space there. If you've got the residential, maybe on the First Street side, having some park space incorporated there as well, kind of strikes that same kind of balance.
Mm-hmm.
Based on that, let's say you're looking at option 3 that the staff is recommending to us, and I think the board is saying that makes some sense. Are we well in the area of being able to pay for this as far as valuation?
Correct. Yes. Best, obviously it would depend on what's being built and when AS would be, but for evaluation purposes, being able to put some level of structure in there is beneficial to the TIF. If you don't, then it would be probably more important to develop the higher density on the Heights end and really seek to capture as much value as possible at the Heights to offset anything that's left down on the Riverside site to be more urban space or park space.
What do you think all the 3 things, the 4 items that we talked about, how many units, how many people are we going to be bringing to that area?
Rough estimate based on densities, you're talking upwards of 400 residential units if you followed the maximum that they list out on all those spaces. And you're talking maybe upwards of 1,000 residents within that area on the top end. The question had been asked at the last meeting about traffic and traffic impacts. Engineering will be planning to do a traffic study in that area, and that will be part of what they move forward. It's hard to determine how it's going to affect because they're looking at some changes. They're hoping to go and route some of the traffic that comes through this area, particularly down Platt. Instead of using Oxford as the cut down to Madison, there may be ways to encourage that traffic to move down Bellinger instead of all the way down the Platt and Oxford, which would change the flow a little bit. But it would definitely have to be studied. And that includes, and with the development, they would have to look very closely at parking plans that the developers would provide on each site as well, because that would be another big key piece. Another question that was brought up the last time relates to grocery stores. The 2 closest stores And we're talking about the more full-size, full-service type stores. The two closest stores are the Festivals located on Claremont and on Birch Avenue, 2.5 miles. So that is the closest grocery capacity.
2.5 miles from exactly where?
From, I just kind of plotted a point within the lower part of the cannery, probably about where the Platt and Oxford space is.
Okay, okay.
Aaron, you mentioned that you have some interest from a commercial tenant, potentially.
Yes.
What other interest are you hearing from developers about this entire area?
We are currently working with a developer that will likely be presenting a proposal for what was referred to as the Kessler Bowl. That's that space, that empty lot that RDA owns north of Kessler Park, looking at an option for single-family homes into that space. We have an interested party that hasn't specified any particular lot, but it's developers looking to do multifamily. And my guess, based on discussions with them, they would probably have an interest in the Heights. And they're actually waiting for this final report to come out to choose which direction they want to go in this area. They are intrigued by the Cannery District, and this is where they've decided they want to focus their efforts. So we're definitely getting some interest in this area.
Great.
The commercial space, it'll take longer to develop. The commercial lots, that might be where it's prudent for RDA to release an RFP for proposals. That way you can kind of help guide the process of what happens in Platt or on the Riverside sites. The residential sites to north, I think you'll probably see some developers come in and make offers specifically on plots of land to do something along those lines. You know, our thought is, from the staff's perspective, is we'll take the drawings and the concepts and the architectural themes that Van Walt comes out as the final presentation of this, put those into essentially catalog. On the back of the catalog, we'll list the available sites that the city and or the RDA owns within the Cannery District, and we'll send that out and post that out for developers to look at. And then we can talk to them as they see spots in the district, locations in the district, and the themes that catch their eye. We can then work with them individually and present, help them bring proposals straight to the RDA for some of the residential sites.
Okay, just my personal comments is density, traffic count, and especially from the standpoint that we've heard a lot about grocery stores. Unless you get the density and the people there, no grocery store is going to want to, that they need a customer base. So I think this board should always look at building a customer base for the other commercial enterprises. So I think that's very important. I appreciate you doing the work on the density, and then we'll look forward to the traffic count report. So any further questions?
Just had one question here. Someone watching. There's one piece we haven't talked about yet, but that's the people piece. And really wasn't much in the way of options for them to choose. Maybe you just remind or highlight a little bit what we would expect to.
Absolutely. This is a space they've identified as primarily residential with some ground floor commercial. So again, it could be a potential to do small suites for retail, micro suites, something along those lines. This is likely a good location for some sort of mixed income development. It provides close amenities in terms of transportation, et cetera, and the way we can do some additional density there makes sense to do that type of development in that space. So, we have some other entities that are interested in looking for locations to do that type of development. This could very well be a good location to do some sort of mixed income, perhaps a tie-in with Light Tech, and that would be the location that we would point them towards within the Cannery District.
Anything else? Okay, thanks, Aaron.
Thank you. On this point, we probably look to, just to kind of get the RDA's opinions on record, we'd probably look for a motion to do some sort of resolution to move this plan forward.
So basically, we're looking at the next item is a resolution. Will the board make the resolution accepting the initial draft of the report from Van Wall and Associates regarding the Cannery District redevelopment? Revisions and adopting the recommendations to guide future development. So basically, the staff has given us some excellent recommendations in the option they like, and so they're asking for our acceptance of that. Can I get a motion to that effect, please?
I move.
Second, it's been moved and seconded, basically to accept the initial draft report from Vanderwall and Associates as defined by the staff. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Opposed, same sign. So we've got your resolution accepting. Executive Director's Report.
We should do that. As I kind of alluded to, we're seeing some good interest still in that area. We'll be working through, like I said, as soon as this is presented, we'll be moving this document out in front of a number of groups that are interested in taking a look. Before even this is complete, we may have a housing proposal to present to you for the Kessler Bowl. So I'm actually meeting with that gentleman later this week. So we'll keep you posted.
All right, any announcements or correspondence, Aaron?
None.
Okay. Our next meeting will be November 20th. For what it's worth, I will not be able to attend. I will be out of town, but I know this board can go on without me for that one meeting. So I'll leave it in. Thank you. Tough struggle, but I have faith in you, Dale. So no other business. We'll stand adjourned. Thank you.
This program was brought to you by a cooperation between Newsworks and the City of Eau Claire. A transcript of this meeting is available for the hearing impaired. It will be available within 7 days of this telecast. Call 715-839-4912 or TDD 715-839-1689. Or write Eau Claire City Clerk, P.O. Box 5148, Eau Claire, Wisconsin 54702-5148. Newsworks is made possible by continuing community support. If you would like to volunteer or make a donation, please contact us via phone at 715